It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be looking at some news regarding the third Walking Dead TV show. Now, we did discuss this when the news first broke, but in this one, we do have some new information about the third installment of a Walking Dead TV show, and maybe even some major reveals about the third TV show. So with that said, let's jump right into this. First, AMC is greenlighting the third scripted series featuring two young female protagonists. Now that's very interesting. So, unlike The Walking Dead main series and Fear the Walking Dead, where the protagonists were initially the family. For The Walking Dead, it was the Rick Grimes family, and for Fear the Walking Dead, it was the Madison Clark family. So unlike those two, it seems like the third TV show is going to be focused on two female protagonists. Now, we don't know if these two female protagonists are friends, family members, siblings, we don't know. But we do know that, at least to begin with, it's going to concentrate on two female protagonists. It focuses on first generation come of age. Now this kind of goes back to the previous point, which says featuring two young female protagonists. So the young is the key word there. So it seems like the characters that we're gonna be introduced to begin the story are gonna be young come of age female characters. So what does that mean? It means that most likely they're going to be in their teens or something along those lines. Now, I think that is a clear indication that they might be converging two separate things that we've already seen. One on Fear the Walking Dead and one on The Walking Dead. From a Fear the Walking Dead perspective, when we had the first season, the story between Alicia and Chris, that's something that might be what they're kind of focusing on in this series. Obviously, it's not going to be as surface level and as elementary as what was portrayed on Fear the Walking Dead, but something along those lines. And they might be even mixing that in with what we saw on The Walking Dead's original show with Carl Grimes at the beginning of the show. Bringing these two things together in order to give us a unique and interesting new story. Some will become heroes, some will become villains, and I think we have a clue about what this means if we look at the second point. It features two young female protagonists. So maybe they're doing something where from these two young female protagonists, one is going to become the hero of the story and one is going to become the villain of the story. That might be where they're heading. It seems like it, but it could just be to throw us off, but it's very, very interesting. It's created by Scott Gimple and Walking Dead writer Matt Negretti. One thing, Scott Gimple's name comes up, there's a flood of negative comments coming in. So let's just step back a little bit and not overanalyze things or jump into conclusions. Let's wait and see, what type of stories they're going to be bringing and what Scott Gimple has in mind before we jump the gun and start judging Scott Gimple again. Next, Matt Negretti will be the showrunner, so Scott Gimple is not the showrunner, Matt Negretti is, which is interesting. I think Scott Gimple has been scared away from becoming a showrunner again, but Scott Gimple is the chief content creator or something like that, so he's overseeing everything. It's not like he needs to be the showrunner of a specific show. He is basically running everything in a way. Next up, it says that this will be 10 episodes. So first season most likely will be 10 episodes, which is very, very interesting. Now they might be doing what they did with The Walking Dead, start small and then expand to 16 episode seasons. We don't know that for sure, but that's something to keep in mind. Next, we have production starts in the summer in Virginia. So they're going to start shooting in the summer of this year, so in a couple of months, which is very cool. But it's going to be in Virginia. Now, the first thing that popped into my head was Virginia is pretty much close to where they've always been filming The Walking Dead. Close to where most of The Walking Dead universe stories have been. So it could have been more interesting to focus on another place. Maybe a little far away from where we are used to. So it might seem repetitive or it might seem like it has the same environmental look or something like that. Obviously, with Fear the Walking Dead, they tried to kind of go away from that a little bit with starting it in LA and moving it to Mexico and everything. But at the end of the day, we see that it didn't make a difference because they didn't stay there long and they didn't utilize the type of stories that they can tell by being in those places. The only thing that they brought forward from that was the ocean. That was the only thing separating The Walking Dead from Fear the Walking Dead in terms of environment and how everything looks around. I think they need to change the look and the atmosphere just a little bit. Now, the next thing that's very telling is that we will be seeing unseen pockets of the Walking Dead universe. That's very, very interesting. Now, this does hint that we might not be seeing a spin-off. Because if this is a spin-off, then it's not really unseen pockets of the Walking Dead universe. You know what I mean? So the fact that it says unseen pockets of the Walking Dead universe, that's very interesting. One thing that I could see them doing is maybe they could tell a story from the military personnel and they could be in that universe in a way, or be in that environment of the military and how they're dealing with situations. And so it doesn't seem like it's a Walking Dead show anymore. You know what I mean? It seems different. So that could be one thing that they are looking at or what they have in mind. Another thing that they could be referring to is maybe deeper down into the story, where we have the story being about the scientists and, you know, their experiments going wrong, leading to the zombie apocalypse or something along those lines. And the other thing that this brings into focus is we don't know about the timeline. We don't know when this third TV show is taking place, what the timeline is. So that's another thing to keep in mind. The last point I have is that it's going to be released in 2020. The Rick movies are also going to be released in 2020. So it seems like 2020 is going to be a big year for Walking Dead fans. But that's basically everything I wanted to share with you guys. But I want to know everyone's opinions about these reveals. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads.